Hey everyone, this is Julie from Julie Art Studio and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm walking you through the process of how I incorporate this crystal that we made in the previous video on canvas. Trust me, this process is full of trial and error for me. I'm still very new at this. I make a lot of beginner mistakes and I'm happy to share these lessons with you guys. So let's jump in. For the canvas, I'm using 6 by 6 inch canvas and I prep it first by taping around the side and brush iridescent flakes on top for extra sparkles. I put the canvas on level surface before I start pouring. With the shape of this crystal centerpiece, I like to place it in the middle and secure it with a background layer of black and white resin. I use pigment paste to color the resin, and I only use a tiny bit of colorant to keep the resin transparent so that the iridescent background can show through. You can use heat gun to pop bubbles on the surface during this process. And now we let this background layer dry. On day 2, you guys can see my first mistake here. I use a thinner resin when I pour the background layer, so the resin kind of run off around the side, leaving these bald spots. The lesson here is to use a thicker resin to spread on the canvas, and that would help avoid runoff. I proceeded with a second layer of resin. I chose black, white, and purple for the color theme and poured color resin around the crystal centerpiece in the shape that I want for the agate. Then I let this layer dry. Okay guys, this is the next day and I realize I make the second mistake. I don't like the purple lines. It's so important to think about a cohesive color theme before you pour, and I did not do that. But the beauty of this art is you can always fix it with another layer of resin. So it's okay to try it out, and if you don't like it, you can always cover it up the next day. The dominant color inside the crystal centerpiece is green, so for this third layer to fix my color mistake, I pour black, white, and green resin mixed with glass glitter for extra sparkles. Again, I use pigment paste to color my resin. During this correction layer, I pause very often and look at the overall piece to make sure that the color theme is now cohesive. I cover the canvas again by alternating black, white, and green. I like this layer much better with more green on it to match with the crystal centerpiece. Now we just need to let this layer dry. On day 4, I'm happy with how this layer turned out, so we don't need any more correction. I added gold and silver lines to embellish the agate design. If I don't like a line shape that I'm drawing, I can always erase it with alcohol wipe. When I'm finally happy with these lines, I let them dry for a few minutes before sealing everything in with clear resin. When putting on top coat, I use thicker resin to spread it on the surface. I always check on the piece every few minutes and pop bubbles with a heat gun. And at the end, I make sure to cover the piece with a box so that dust cannot fall in the resin surface. The next day when the top coat is dry, I remove the tape and paint gold gilding paint around the edge for the final touch. This piece was sold and now is at its forever home. I'm happy with how this piece turned out, and I hope my lessons will help you guys with your own projects. Remember, don't be afraid to try and fail and try again. I had so much fun making this piece and learned a lot throughout the process. If you have other tips for agate canvas art to share with me and other fellow artists, please comment below. If you enjoy this process, make sure to give it a thumb up and subscribe for more resin videos. Thank you for watching.